Hey everybody, this is Sean with ProSymmetry, and in this video, we're going to talk about configuring fiscal periods in Tempus. Why is this important? Many of our clients are large organizations that have fiscal periods that differ from standard calendar periods. They may be government related, or they may just have different fiscal months, fiscal quarters, fiscal years. Tempus allows you to configure your fiscal periods to match how you do planning inside of Tempus. So to show you how this is done, we're going to browse to admin settings. And before you can start planning with fiscal periods, you first have to configure the fiscal periods. To do that, from admin settings, we're going to browse to fiscal period management. And from here, when you first connect, you're going to have no fiscal periods configured. To do that, we're going to click Create Fiscal Period. That's going to give you this wonderful setup screen. And the first thing we have to provide is, well, what is the year? What is the fiscal alias? And we're going to say this is 2023. And we need to now provide a start and end date range for the fiscal period. So let's go ahead and pick maybe March 1st. And we're going to go till maybe the end of February, 2024. So let me keep clicking here. There we go. And I'm going to choose the end of months. I'm going to keep this easy for the demo. In reality, your fiscal periods may start and end kind of the middle of the month. It might be like 3/15 to whatever that would be to, you get the idea, in your environment. You would then choose what year does it belong to. Is it 2023 or is it part of 2024? This may vary based on sort of where it starts and ends in the years, but these are going to be contiguous as you build out your next fiscal period. I'm using 2023 as the alias. You could use, you can call this something else if you'd wish. Now, what this is going to do based on setting the start and end date, it's going to do some pre-population for us, and it's going to tell us what is the starting date and then what is the ending date. And at this point, I can start populating the end date. But the first thing I'm going to do is say, well, this 3/1 really does represent the fiscal month of March. This can be useful if we were starting mid-March or maybe late March, and in fact, it represented April, but not March. Those of you that work with fiscal periods understand what I'm talking about. Others may not. Just have to trust me on it. And what we're going to do is just assume that these use kind of the traditional calendar months, but in a fiscal alignment. In reality, I know this is going to differ based on each organization. So let's, in this case, say that this ends 3/31, 4 ends 4/30. So I'm just going to make these all sort of standard months, but they start and end based on a different fiscal configuration. So we'll go ahead and do all the clicking here. Pretty simple stuff. You just have to do a few clicks. Month 9, month 12, and there we go. Okay, so Tempus will handle all of this for you, the start dates and then the last two start and end dates. And once we've set the seed value for the fiscal month, it fills out the remainder. Now, the next thing we can do is specify a month alias and then a quarter alias. These alias values will appear in the planning grids and also in reporting. Reporting, both the standard reporting and Insight Plus, are going to have access to the start and end date ranges, the month number, the actual fiscal month value, as well as the alias values for the month and the quarter. For month alias, it's up to you. You might call March MAR, or you might call it month 1 or whatever. In this case, I'm just going to use M1, and then I'll make the rest of these sort of M2 through all the way down to this might be M12. You get the idea. Now on the quarter alias side, again, up to you what you want to call these. Is this called Q1? Is it called fiscal quarter FQ1? It's up to you. I'm going to use Q1, Q2, and you'll see these auto-populate for those months, Q3, and then Q4. So that's it. So really simple, and I'm, of course, missing these month aliases, which I'll continue here in a moment, but that's how we would create our fiscal calendars directly inside of Tempus. You can then create additional fiscal periods with each year, or if you knew ahead of time, maybe the next 2 or 3 years, what those fiscal periods look like. Odds are many of our customers who use these fiscal periods are planning over multiple years. These might be large defense type companies. They might be others. And they're doing longer term planning, of course, And this becomes quite important and quite useful for both forecasting and planning in single project allocation and bulk project allocation, and then of course in reporting. So that's how we configure fiscal periods inside of Tempus. I hope this was useful for you. Thanks again for watching. To learn more or get access to a free trial, join us at ProSymmetry.com.